Right, now what I'm going to have a go at, I'm going to have a go at attempt at making a model layout using minimum stuff. So we start out here. Now this is underlay from laminate flooring, which is, it's not very dear. You buy it in B&Q or whatever. You cut it roughly about 3 inches. Right, that's the first one. And what you do, you put on a flat surface, yeah. And this is a piece of 2.5 inch wood what I've used, and I've put some nails in it that just come through, see ya? And you put it on here, and it won't move. This won't move underneath. It keeps it in place for you. And you use a Stanley knife or a sharp knife, and if you cut it at an angle like that, good blade. See that it's not moving. There you go. That's one. Come back on the other side. Put it at an angle like that. Yeah. It's not moved. Take it away. Now you see you've got your angle. Can you see that? Yeah. So when I put my track on it, okay. Now the reason I've used 2.5 inch wood, because 2x1 is too narrow, because by the time you cut into an angle it's not enough. There you go. Now that is, you can see if you look down here, if you look down there you can see the angle of it. It's just right. Okay, dog? Right. That's one. Now the other one which I've done is, I've had this bought for me. This is one from the pound shop. Which we see it? See it? This is one from the pound shop. The good thing, this is very good, but when you're with this you've got to stand over it to work on something small. So what I've done, I've made a stand for one, and I can stand up straight and I can move it any way I want to see it better. And that's also from the pound shop. That's a homemade one, homemade stand. Right, now we've got to start these. Now this is the bridge which is I've cut out here, okay. And what I've done, I've made a piece here like that, you see, and this is for the backing plate, right. You put it on like that, you get every one of them right. Mark it with a pencil. Okay, so you can mark with a pencil. Then, nice. This is super grip. I found this in a skip. It's just as good. And what you do is you put it on like so. Alright. You do it. Don't worry about the pieces sticking up. You actually want them. You want them sticking up. See them? You want it looking rough. Believe me, that's rough. Okay? And you just steep that in water, and it won't go hard. And then what I've done, here's oh, there we are. What I've done, I've broke the don't come in. I broke two of the forks off, so I end up with that, right? And the idea of that is you come along like that, and now and again you just put it like that. It doesn't have to be dead straight. Right? We'll see what happens in a minute. It's better to do it when it's wet. It's a lot easier to do it when it's wet. You see? Your imagination works wonders. Now, I know absolutely nothing about trains. I just a hobby I picked up, started to do. And if you're actually starting out, this is some of the easy ways to do it. Use your imagination, put your lines wherever you want. It's your wall, you see. Now, that's got lovely texture to it. Okay? And when it's done, it goes behind the wall like that, see? It sticks on behind. Now, I've done some more here, which is... I've done some more here which is dry. Now the reason I suggest you do it when it's dry is all you do then is just go over these with the fork. Now you see it's quite hard to, if you was to do it without letting it, if you was to do it when it goes off, then it's a lot easier to do it like this. Make the lines in when it's wet and just go over them again. Now, you see that now? You see how bumpy it is? And then what you do, you stick them behind, and that's your wall. Now the other thing what I do is, any of these you find, your grandkids or kids, pick them up, make sure you keep them, because they come in, I'll show you what I do with them after. Now, I have a layout here, which I'm working on. And this is this is an idea I have, a layout of Bangor Station in the 1960s. Now I keep going back to it. The longer you leave it, the better, because you get better ideas for it, right? Now the other one is you get some dye, like paints, acrylic paints, and you just make a mix. What you do is you go over on the wall like that and just let it pour down natural, because that's what it's like in real time. Just let it cool down, don't worry about that, that'll dry off. And that's the wall coming on. There's two trains running on there. The other thing is, I find by not knowing about trains that this track here is the ideal track you want for the older trains. Whereas the new trains, the new track, won't run on this one. It will run, but it catches on these things here, on these. But on the old one, it's much deeper. Right? This, if you're starting out. Now, the best thing to do, if you are starting out, what you want to do is try and join a model club, which I have done. I have joined a model club, and it's amazing the friends you make and the stuff you learn. Now the other thing on here is, like, you probably don't live near a beach like I do for driftwood, So what we do, we go to the beach and we get driftwood. I've got a bag of it here. Of all different stuff. This is driftwood off the beach, and you'll see if you look at it. Now, when this is cut down the middle, there's your rocks when they're painted up. That's a piece of a tree I cut down the middle. That's a beautiful piece because I can put a track around there. Look at that. Now, you don't live near a beach, fair enough. You've got a wood near you. You see? Now, instead of making a tree out of a piece of wire, why not use a real piece of wood and then make it from there? The other thing I'm doing is I'm trying to work out the electrics, which I don't know anything at all about. Now, the fork I showed you, this fork here, it's ideal for this here. See? When it's wet, you just go around it like that. Go around it like that. You see? Every one of them is the same width then, and all the same level. And you just come up the middle. It'll go the middle as well. It'll do the middle. Do the middle piece. There. You see that? Yeah. Keep going over, and then you make your bricks. Yeah. Now I've got several ideas. Yeah. Which I'm coming up with. I hope I'm to get it right. This is one that I cut previous. This one, just gluing it together because it broke. Now this part here is plastic, which it comes in a kit, right? So I didn't like that. So I made one out of MDF. MDF. You see? If you look at it. Which is going to be lined. It's going to have a line on it. It's going to be painted up. This is the station platform. And as I'm progressing, I'll try and get it to show you some more. Oh, all the wood I use is just scrap wood. Pick it up in a skip, whatever. That's why this is my straight edge. You see, it's just a piece of scrap wood. Straight edge, just a piece of scrap wood. Like I said, put a few nails in it. Well, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 nails in that, and it stops the foam from underneath from moving once you put it on it. And when you've cut your foam up, you just roll it up like that. That's ready to use now, with the angle cut in it already. You can use whatever you prefer, but this is not very expensive. This a roll of this stuff. It's for underlay, what they put down these laminated tiles with. This is going to be my layout here. It's going to go all the way around here. I'm going to put my birds out in the other and make another shed for the birds. This is all going to be the layout in there. It's going to come around here. Come around here. Right the way around. Now the other thing I'm going to work on is okay, cut them up, and I use toilet paper, put it on wet, and it's the right scale for a cover. When it dries pretty solid, and then you paint it, because that's going onto a carriage, and cut the wings off nice and steady. Yeah, because they're going on one of the flat trucks. Right, that's it for now. Right, this is that driftwood I found on the beach. That one I've cut in half. That was one piece of wood. Just cut it in half. Now when it's all painted up, it'll look beautiful. There's the down, and you can see the height of it. You could make this out of foam, but look at that. That would paint on now, and the scenery around it would look good. This one here, which I've cut in half, you can see I've just cut that one off this one here. It's very light, it's like a cork. Now you might not have a beach around you where you live, but you do have woodland area, and you'll pick it up off the floor, and there's plenty of it. You see, just level the bottom off so it sits flush on your table. There you go. Again, it's your imagination at work, just remember. All this is just driftwood. Okey-doke. Now, you see when you pour that dye onto the brickwork, and they're all different. Now this is just an idea, it's not finished at that angle. See, everyone's different. So when everything else goes on that and the wall's painted, it'll all look okay. Let me try it. Now there's that rubber hose, that's underneath, see? And if I go down here, there we go. Now when that's got ballast on it, it'll look the part. When it's all nailed down. I'll make a template for my bridge because there's tunnels on here. Template. These are all just drying off now. These are the walls I've done before. All these go behind here to cover all that in. Again, like I said, this is just my idea of a layout. Try not to copy anybody's layout, because if you do your own, it's a better layout. This is a Bangor in Wales, not Wales. Bangor railway of the 1960s, which I'm working on. I'll show you a picture I took out of a book. Well, copied out of a book. Now this is the